On episode 360 of the 40 Plus Fitness podcast, we meet Agi Kadar and discuss her book, Are You a Gym Mouse? You can find the full show notes for this episode at 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/360. Have you decided you're ready to make a change? To reclaim your health and fitness? The 40 Plus Fitness podcast is here for you. I'm your host, Alan Meisner. I'm an NSAM certified personal trainer with a specialization in corrective exercise and fitness nutrition. Let me be your coach as you find your way on your health and fitness journey. All right, let's go. Our guest today has been in the fitness industry for over 19 years as a personal trainer and gym manager. She is the author of the book, Are You a Gym Mouse? With no further ado, here's Agi Kadar. Agi, welcome to 40 Plus Fitness.
Thank you, Alan. It's great to be here.
You know, your book, Are You a Gym Mouse? Well, one, it was just, the title itself is cute and imaginative, and I really like the messaging that kind of taking it from being the gym rat and then being the gym mouse. You covered a lot of things in the book that I see year in and year out in the gym. You know, it's someone comes in, they're intimidated, they shun the free weight section. Often they won't even go to the workout machines. They're on the treadmills, on the ellipticals. And I just thought that was, really good to kind of put this kind of book out there for someone that knows they need to do the training. They just aren't motivated to do it because of the intimidation factor, because the lack of knowledge factor, all the different reasons that someone doesn't want to go to a gym.
Yes, that was exactly the reason I wrote the book. I have been working in a gym for 19 years and have seen a lot of gym mice come and go. They are just too intimidated to do more than get on the treadmill or on a bike. And I want to show them that it is okay to be a gym mouse. You can still get all the benefits of moving and get better, get healthier, get stronger, and not feel intimidated by others that might be fitter than them, that they probably were a gym mouse at one point or other.
Yeah. How would you go about defining a gym mouse? When you see someone, how do you say, okay, that's a gym mouse? What does that look like?
Well, someone who might actually take a while to even come into the gym and join. You can usually tell right away. Some people even told me that they sat in the car for 30 minutes before walking in. They're usually scared of the machines, the free weights, especially heavy weights. They think they have to lift really heavy weights and be really fit to even start an exercise program. A lot of times I hear them say that, okay, I will join the gym and I'll get in shape on the treadmill and then I take a class or I start using weights. And even though they want to get stronger, feel better, look younger, but they just really lack the motivation to get over their fears.
Yeah, my first foray into walking into a commercial gym, because I was an athlete in high school, so I was familiar with weight equipment and whatnot. But my first foray, kind of walking into a gym, was it was very broken up. You know, you got your treadmills, and 9 times out of 10, those are going to be close to the door. And then you start working into the machines. And then in the back corner space, in this gym, it happened to be a bigger part of the whole overall gym because it was more geared towards weightlifters and professional bodybuilders and that kind of thing. We're the guys and the women in the back lifting the weights. And, I was 14 years old. I was in no way capable of doing what a lot of the other bigger guys were doing. And I can kind of get that. You see this guy go over there, he's got, 500 pounds on the bar doing deadlifts or squats. And, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to go do this bar and that's going to be enough for me. But what I found was that they don't care about me being in their space. It was just a shared space. We both paid for our membership. In a general sense, they're there to get their workout and they're not really there to people watch the mice, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly. I hear that from people that, I'm afraid to go back there with the weights because I just don't belong there. People are going to look at me. And it's not true. And if you look around in most gyms, though, you do find the regular people.
Yes.
Others like a lot of gym mice out there, even in the classes. Not everybody is in perfect shape. They all there just to move and have fun and get healthier. And they really could not care less what you are doing.
Well,
They
we
worried
all
about
we all started somewhere. We all started somewhere, and I think for me, well, one, I'm a trainer, so
that.
if I'm looking around and I'm seeing anybody, I'm into my workout, but if I see anybody, I'm only going to recognize one, people that are in the gym the same time every day, and I see them every time, so I'm going to know who they are, and then I'm going to see the newbies, and the only reason I'm paying any attention at all is if I notice them doing something that I see the potential for them to really hurt themselves.
Oh yes, that's one of the reason I do recommend beginners to go to the gym instead of starting a workout by themselves at home to get the guidance and get help and make sure that they do it right so they can get the results so they don't give up.
Yeah.
And
It was one of the things, I did this. I have a book coming out. It just came out. In the book, I talk about you can get strong doing body weight work. You can build a home gym. You can put things in your home and then add on equipment as you go. But there is a danger factor there because now you're by yourself. And if you drop weights on yourself, there might not be anybody else there to deal with that. The core advantages of the gym for me was, the variety of equipment that you could never get in a home gym. The fact that you don't have to pay to upkeep it and you don't have to pay to store it and keep it. I'm giving up half of one of my garages just to have my home gym, which works for me because my truck doesn't even fit in my garage. So it's my gym. But what are some reasons why you think someone should, why should the mouse venture into the gym?
Well, one reason, what you just said, not to get hurt, but a great big reason is other people there that are just like them. So they won't feel alone. They feel more confident, more motivated to actually do it because they see another person who is actually maybe older or bigger or smaller or whatever they insecurities come from and they see them doing it. They might feel better. Oh, I can do this. Also find another workout buddy that they can meet there and they can go together. So there will be, again, another motivation not to let someone else down. And another big thing is once you in the gym, chances are you are going to work out.
Yeah.
And at home, you might find another reason. I got to wash the dishes. I got to do this. I got to do that. I'll do it later. And then it never gets done. If you already made the trip to the gym, chances are you will do something.
Yes, absolutely. Now, what I think a lot of folks don't recognize is that not all gyms are created equal. There are some gyms that are dedicated to women alone. There are some that are dedicated to meatheads, and there are some that are all across the spectrum. There, some of them are organized with all kinds of classes. Some are not. Can you talk about how someone can go about and say, okay, well, with all the choices that are probably out there, most of us, I think, live within a mile of at least one or two gyms. What are some things that I should look for when I'm looking at joining a gym?
Yes, that's a great question. I do believe you have to find the right gym for you. Otherwise, you're probably not going to go. I would definitely recommend that you look around first close to your home or close to maybe your work, because it's very unlikely that you will drive a great distance to a gym, especially if you are a gym mouse and that's not one of your priorities. But definitely go visit the gym. Find out what they offer, find out their policies, look around, ask for a free pass. That's, I think, the best advice I can give to anybody. All the gyms will give you at least a 1-day pass. So go try it out, take a class or walk around, talk to the members, just see who is going to that gym. Look around and see if you feel comfortable. Go at the time that you would most likely go. So you see how busy it is, the gym. Some people like a busy gym, would like all the energy. So that's great. Some people like a more quiet facility. Also, there are big, huge facilities. They offer everything. If that's what you like, great. Then check those out. If you rather have a small boutique studio that specializes in certain things like yoga or Pilates or spinning, then check those out. Take a class and see if you like it. But definitely, I would recommend visiting and not judging them by the price or by the website or even a phone call. Just go there and feel it out. Feel the vibe, feel the just the whole atmosphere, because they, like you said, they are all different.
Yeah. And I think that first point you had, convenience is probably one of the keys.
Yes.
I had a membership with Anytime Fitness, and one of the reasons I kept that, even though I had other I had my own home gym, I had a gym membership up near my work, and then I had an Anytime Fitness. And the advantage of the Anytime Fitness was that they had offices, they had gyms all around the world.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I was in Calgary, I could go to the gym for free. When I was in Mississippi for a football game, I could go to a gym for free. So look for some of those that are chains that will actually let you go in. Another thing and it just, like you said, it needs to be close to your home. It needs to be something that you would almost have to drive by it on your way home.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good point. Or even close to your work, or whatever is more convenient for you. But definitely convenience will make it a lot easier to get there and stick to your routine.
Yeah, and another thing to look at is some of the services that they offer that might be those add-ons that are going to make this gym really, really special for you. Some of them have the special classes. So they'll be doing some strength classes, some aerobic classes, spinning classes as a part of the whole service. Some of them have infrared saunas, swimming pools, those types of things, which if those are services that you and your family would enjoy, those are really nice to have. And then the other is personal trainers. If they have a cadre of personal trainers available, particularly at the beginning when you're trying to learn what these crazy looking machines do and how you're going to get over to that, those iron plates and the bars and how you're going to do all that. It's really good that they have trainers, because in many cases, the trainers will give you an orientation to actually demonstrate how to do the work. And if at any point in time you're concerned about your form, typically you can go over and ask the trainer on duty and just say, hey, do you mind spotting me? Do you mind watching me and telling me if I'm doing this right? I don't want to hurt myself. And 99% of the time, they're going to be able to go over there and give you a hand and help you lift safer and lift better. So, there are these add-ons that I think don't discount those, because even though you say I might not need to go to a gym in another town, suddenly you're going to visit your grandmother or your aunt, and you're like, oh, do they have this gym there? And when they do, it's pretty cool that you don't have to pay a walk-in fee for one of those other gyms.
Oh, yes, definitely. That's why I said just go to visit a couple of gyms and find out all the policies. Like you mentioned, the chains, some of them you can just go anywhere. But I work for a gym that's a franchise, but you can still get a travel pass and go to other gyms and use them on vacation or anywhere in the world. And the other thing, like you mentioned, the trainers, when you go to a gym, find out if they offer a couple of free sessions to get you oriented with all the equipment and free weights or whatever else you want to use in the classes. And most of we give two orientation sessions, and we actually write up a workout routine for people to get started with.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool, because a lot of people do go in and they just don't really have an idea of what they need to do. But sitting down with them and taking the time to show them the equipment and giving them something to get them started is really good. I think one reason that people get uncomfortable in the gym, it's a foreign environment from the perspective of it seems to have its own rules. We call it gym etiquette. And to be honest, it actually changes from gym to gym. So some of them will be a little bit more stringent on these etiquette rules than others. And some members will just ignore these etiquette rules, even when they're experienced and been in the gym for a while. But what are some of the etiquette rules that your gym, or maybe that that a new person should know when they go in the gym?
Well, probably the biggest thing is, just like in life, just be courteous and keep everything the way you would like to find it. Cleanliness, and just clean up after yourself. That's one big thing. And respect other people's time and space. Some people are just there to work out and get to work, or they really don't have a lot of time, so they don't want to chat. They don't want you to interrupt the workout. So you need to respect that. If you retire and you have the time, and there's a lot of other people that stay for a while, that's great. Go and talk to them at the juice bar or sit down, have a cup of coffee, but don't interrupt others' workout. I think that's one of the biggest rules that people
Yeah.
need to know. But at the same time, also share. Sometimes a gym mouse might feel like, oh, I can't go over there. They're using that machine, but they're just sitting on it and talking or texting or resting for a while. It's okay to approach them then and ask them that, can I share that machine with you or that area? And you can work in with others nicely. So sometimes it is also for the gym mouse to know their rights, not just
Yes.
their rules. So that's why I dedicated a whole chapter in my book to gym etiquette. So
I think you could have written a whole book on it. I mean,
probably. And I got a lot of feedback that I should print it out and just post it in the gym everywhere.
Yeah, a few that I'll mention that I think a lot of people miss, and it goes back to your being courteous. If you pull a set of dumbbells or some equipment from a rack, return them to the rack.
Mm-hmm.
For the convenience of everybody, the dumbbells are typically laid out from smallest to biggest, lightest to heaviest, and that's important because it keeps the big guys from having to stand over in your area if you're using lighter weights, and vice versa. You're not having to cross over. Typically, if someone's working in the heavier weights, they're not going to be on the other end where now you have the opportunity to work. So make sure you're putting your weights away. Notice that a lot of people actually use the mirror to monitor their form. So try not to get between someone that's working out in the mirror until they're done with their set, because they're entitled to that mirror for the time they're doing the work. As soon as they're finished with their work, you can cross over, but try to stay out of their mirror area. And then kind of, this is my biggest one, is we're getting into the cold and flu season. And if you have a cold or flu, this is a good time to actually work out at home.
Yes, definitely.
You're going to wipe down your machines and stuff when your equipment when you're done with it. Almost every gym's going to have a spray bottle or something that you can wipe that off. And by all means, you can wipe off before you use it and after. They don't mind you using their paper towels. We really don't, because we want to keep the equipment clean and nice. But at the same time, if you come into the gym sick, we're in a small enclosed space, typically with a lot of people. We're just going to get more people sick, and they're going to get more people sick. So if you have a cold or flu, stay home. If it's a flu and fever, probably not even a good idea to work out. If it's a head cold, you could probably still do some exercise, but try to do that where you're not compromising the health of other people.
Yeah, definitely. I always tell people, just if you're in doubt, just think about what would you want somebody else to do. Do you want to go in there and have someone sneeze on you?
Yeah.
And definitely that was my other thing I was going to tell you too, that we point out paper towels, spray bottles to everybody. And that's another courtesy wipe of your sweat, not just when you're sick, but keep the machines clean so somebody that comes after you can find it the same as you did.
And then the other thing is one of the cool things about the gym, and you mentioned this a little bit, is there's this effect that happens when you're around other people that it just makes you work a little harder. And it makes the workout actually a little bit more enjoyable. So group classes are a great way to get started if you're just really, really uncomfortable and you want to build some fitness before you really dive deep. But when you're in the gym, realize that we're all trying to do the same thing. You're surrounding yourself with other people that are interested in their health and fitness. So sometimes we help each other. And what I mean by that is, I might be doing a lift and, I might be concerned that I'm not going to be able to complete the last rep. And if I'm on bench press or squat or something like that, it might be difficult for me to do that last one. And I might ask you for a spot. If someone asks you for a spot and you know how to give the spot, then by all means. If you're uncomfortable that you're not going to be able to properly spot somebody, then don't be afraid to tell them that you don't feel like you're strong enough or you don't have the spotting technique. But as you kind of get into this, realize that we're all there to kind of help each other out. So don't be afraid to ask for a spot if you think you need one, because it's better for you to have that spot, someone there to catch the bar so you don't drop it on yourself, than it is for you to try the lift and hurt yourself.
Yes, and People will be surprised how helpful others can be. Even some of the sort of meatheads or gym rat looking people, they are usually very welcoming to new people, and they encourage them. And that's a great feeling too when you see someone who's in great shape and they say, "Hey, you here again? Great, good for you. Keep going." And
Well, we
that can
like it.
definitely,
We like it because the gym needs to have members to stay
yes,
open.
that's true
if,
too.
if it's three of us that are going in to work out in this whole big gym, they're gonna have to charge us a lot of money to make ends meet. So
That's right.
the trainers need to get paid.
That's right.
The gym manager needs to get paid, and the gym owner needs to at least have enough money to keep the lights on. So yes, we're very happy to have people in the gym, and we want them to stick past that resolution period.
Yes.
So when you go into the gym, yes, that treadmill is going to call your name. It's like, I'm easy. You know how to
Yes,
use me.
exactly.
Let's go. But if it's not just cardiovascular endurance that you're trying to build, then the treadmill is only going to take you so far.
Mm-hmm.
If you're wanting to build fitness and really kind of do some things for yourself, you're going to need to do some resistance training. The machines tend to be easier to understand on your own. But again, if there's trainers around, if there's experienced people that are there, and you see them doing the leg press machine, or you see them doing bench press with dumbbells, don't be afraid to ask them for tips and pointers on how to do a particular exercise. Now, don't interrupt their workout every single time you want to learn an exercise, but
Yes.
to occasionally sit there and say, "I noticed you doing that exercise, and that was very interesting. What muscle part is that working?"
Mm-hmm.
And just watch their form, and then you can, with then much lighter weights, replicate that movement when you want to work that particular muscle group.
Yes, I totally agree. Or just walk up to the front desk and ask them, is there a trainer available that can help me? Chances are they are just walking around and they'd be happy to help you. They want to keep busy, they want to show what they know, and they all want to help you. So
and
definitely.
yes, and that's a part of their marketing shtick.
Yes.
So
definitely.
If I have an opportunity to show you something, then you're going to understand what kind of trainer I am,
Mm-hmm.
how skilled I am. And so hopefully that's just, again, and other people are going to see me helping you. So it is, I could tell you, managers want their trainers on the floor helping people all the time. Even if they're not a client at the time, they want their trainers helping people as often as they can.
Yes, I always tell people, just ask instead of hurting yourself or doing it wrong. It's much harder to unlearn a wrong move than do it right the first place.
And we're over 40, and so more likely than not, doing it wrong is going to lead to some form of injury. So, and you really don't want that. That's going to keep you out of the gym. And you're now you're going to be an injured mouse at home.
Yes, we don't want that.
Yeah.
No.
So any other gym etiquette tips or things that someone should know? Talked about how there's certain gyms that will fit them better. There are, certain etiquette tips that once you kind of get comfortable with how that gym works, are going to work for you. Anything else?
Well, definitely if you're not sure, just ask around what's expected of you. But just little things sometimes people don't think about, like bringing a gym bag to the floor. If only one person does it, it's not a big deal. But can you imagine 10, 15, 20 gym bags all over the place, people tripping over it, or just really dangerous? Or another thing is bringing a cell phone into a class, for instance, and texting or taking phone calls just to disturbing other people. That's really one of my biggest pet peeves that I really try to encourage people, not just for the benefit of others that you don't disturb the class or the instructor, but also for your own enjoyment of your time. You are here to work out. If there is an emergency, I can understand some people want to keep their phone on them. That's great. But if you don't need to, don't do it. Relax, recharge.
But, a lot of times the gyms will be playing music.
Mm-hmm.
And it might not be the music that you want to listen to. So have some Bluetooth headphones,
Yes.
Listen to your music. There's also applications that you might want to use to log your weights, because they'll give you all kinds of cool graphs and information that kind of helps motivate you. They make it very like a game sometimes, trying to score points from doing your workouts. So if you're using those types of things, great. And even beyond the class, if you're using a machine and you're going to say do 3 sets, don't sit on the machine between sets texting.
Yes.
If you're logging your workout, that's one thing. But if you're sitting there having a phone conversation,
Mm-hmm.
there's another gym mouse that's sitting over there looking at that machine saying, gee, I'd really love to do the chest press, but it looks like it's taken. And so just realize that some people are not going to feel comfortable asking you to work in.
Mm-hmm.
Those of us that have been around for a while, we're going to walk up and say, hey, you mind if I work in? If they do, and you still need to do what you're doing with your logging, just let them go. Because typically
Mm-hmm.
when someone's working out on the machine, they're only going to be on there for like 20, 30 seconds.
Yeah, definitely sharing is a very good rule.
Yeah, and it's a skill. Working in is a skill. You'll see it, and you'll get more comfortable with it. You'll get more comfortable asking to work in because time is the one finite resource that we all can't get more of. So when we're in the
Mm-hmm.
gym,
Yes.
we want to make the most of that time. And so those are just the gym etiquette thing. I think is one of those that once you have that down, you're going to feel so much more a part of that gym and the gym culture that you're not necessarily going to go from being a mouse to a rat. But that said, you can just be a very good gym mouse.
Yes, exactly. I like that.
And you don't have to ever become a gym rat. You can
That's
stay
right.
a good gym mouse and still enjoy the benefits, the health and fitness benefits of being in a gym or fitness club. So, question I'm asking all of my guests now, and so I want to ask you, Agi. I define wellness as being the healthiest, fittest, and happiest you can be. What are 3 strategies or tactics to get and stay well?
Well, I'm really happy that you mentioned happiness because I think it's a very big part of it and very important. One of my strategies that I would recommend is find something you like to do. Do not make exercise a chore, especially for a gym master, someone who feels like that's not their biggest talent or skill to move, but they know they need to do it and they want to do it. Don't try to do something you hate or you really dislike. Find something you really enjoy. Take a class, take all the classes, see which one you like, or try out training with a trainer, try out working out with a buddy. Just really, really find something you like. You like dancing? Put on music and dance around the house, or take a Zumba class or some other type of dancing class. But really, really important that you enjoy what you do. You will stick to it more. You're going to look forward to it, and you're still going to get all the benefits of the gym or just the movement. So that's one of my tips. The second one is create a habit and stick to it. We are creatures of habit. So it is a lot easier to stick to a habit than keep stopping and creating a new one. Find a time that works the best for you and stick to it. Make it as an appointment. Just really think about it as a very important thing, part of your life, something that you do every day or every other day or so many times a week, just like brushing your teeth or washing your face.
Or picking up your spouse from the airport.
Exactly. Don't leave them stranded there. So I really think even if something, of course, something comes up where you get sick, you might miss your workout. But if it's just maybe a matter of time that you usually work out 30 minutes and you only have 15 minutes, go for 15 minutes. You're still going to keep that habit. So you're going to feel that accomplishment that I did it. It was a harder day today, but I still did my workout, even if 15 minutes. Or if you have to just do a little bit or move at home. Okay, I missed the gym today. I'm going to go home and dance around while I'm making the bed and washing dishes, just anything. So you keep that habit of moving every day or at least sticking to your workout routine. I really think it's very important. Even if you get maybe injured a little bit, like let's say I had a client who sprained her ankle. And my advice was to her is, it's only your ankle. You have a lot more body parts and muscle groups there that you can work. And she said she kept hearing my voice every day. It's only an ankle. And that got her over that initial shock that, oh my God, I can't do anything. She came to the gym with a cane for a while, but she sat on some of the machines or sat on the bench and did upper body exercises. She did core exercises, and she was so happy that she didn't have to stop her routine. So the habit is to keeping that habit. I think it's very, very important. And the third one, I think probably the most important, is to supercharge your motivation. Most of us know that we need to move, we need to exercise, and we probably know all the benefits of exercise, our health, appearance, weight loss, a lot of benefits. But sometimes it's just not enough to get us out on a cold, dark morning to get up earlier and go to the gym, or after work when you just want to go home and curl up front of the TV. So you have to find a personal, maybe a more emotional reason to do it. And what I mean with that is something that you really want. And you need to be in better shape for that, or keep your shape. Sometimes we think when you're younger that we're always going to be like that. Like you said, Alan, that this is over 40 fitness, and some of us are over 50. And I'm guessing the older you get, it's just going to get harder. So it's a lot easier when you have a personal reason to do it. For example, one of my clients who is in her 60s now, her reason was to play with her grandchildren on the floor and be able to get up. She would get down and play with them, but she needed someone else to pull her up. And she got scared. She said, what if my daughter asks me to watch my grandchildren and I want to play with them, but I can't get off the floor and nobody else is home? And that was her motivation to come to the gym. And this is a lady who I've been training for years and years, and she always had an excuse not to get up or miss the training or do this or do that. And she is there 2-3 times a week, 6:30 in the morning, because she wants to be in shape. And she's very proud of herself that she can carry around her 2-year-old granddaughter in her arms without any problems. She can get not just off the floor, but she can get out of a bean chair, which was like the biggest, most evil furniture for her. When her daughter bought that for her grandchildren's room, she said, "You kidding me? I will never get out of that." And she actually can do it. So that's a great motivation for her, and that keeps her going. So it does not have to be even your health. And we all know it's going to benefit you, or even an athletic event that you want to run a race or you want to walk a charity walk. That's a great reason. Don't get me wrong. It's a great motivation. And if that will motivate you, great. But sometimes you have to find something else. I have a 95-year-old client who just wanted to be able to walk down the stairs and not be horrified that she's going to fall down. And I've been working with her balance, and she's amazing. She goes swimming twice a week, and she walks up and down the stairs and just keeps moving though. And that's really the secret. I really think you just have to find that little bit of personal, emotional reason that's important for you, and it will keep you going when you don't want to go.
Yes, absolutely. And those are wonderful. Thank you for sharing that. Now, you said you have a special gift for anyone that wants to come and check you out. Tell us about the gift and tell us where we can learn more about you and the book, Are You a Gym Mouse?
Yes, I created a have fun exercising 30-day challenge that I recommend to every gym mouse to maybe commit to it. It's just helping you get started and sticking to an exercise routine, just to commit to moving every day. And it doesn't have to be in the gym every day, but just commit to even 15 minutes of movement every day. I included some tips, some fun and more unique ideas how you can move, even without going to the gym or doing a formal exercise. And just little tips to motivate yourself and sticking to it, and then reward yourself for sticking to a 30-day plan. And once you stick to it, you will keep that habit going. And I'm betting on it that you will feel better and you keep wanting those benefits. You can find my gift at getfitgift.com.
Awesome.
And we'll send you the free PDF and the surprise also with that I don't want to tell you. You have to get that gift. And you can also find more out about my book. And and about me on my website at areyouagymmouse.com.
Awesome. Awesome. This is episode 360. So if in case you're running or you're out and about and you couldn't write that down, just remember this is 360. So go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/360, and I'll be sure to have the links there. So Agi, thank you so much for being a part of 40 Plus Fitness.
Thank you, Alan, for having me. It was great.
So are you a gym mouse? If you are, or if you aren't, either way, why don't you let us know? You can go and leave a comment on the podcast page going to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/360. And there you can go ahead and leave a comment. Are you a gym mouse? And why do you think that? Or are you not a gym mouse? And why do you think that? A very interesting conversation with Agi. I hope you enjoyed it. I wanted to let you know if you do enjoy podcasts and you're interested in checking out the Wellness Roadmap book, it is available on Audible and iTunes. You can go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/audiobook. And Audible will actually, if you don't have an Audible account yet, Audible will actually let you have the book for free. So, you can check it out and get it for free, actually, by checking out Audible, going to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/audiobook. I also wanted to check in with you and see if you were potentially interested in helping to support the podcast. We do have a Patreon page. You can go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/Patreon, and that's Patreon. And there you can go ahead and leave a small donation, monthly donation for the podcast. And I've got some levels in there. So if you want to get more involved with the podcast, learn more about what we're doing here, just really kind of be more of a part of it, a support for this podcast, it'll help me keep paying for the audio production and the show notes. I'd really appreciate it. Go to 40plusfitnesspodcast.com/Patreon. Thank you. Next time on the 40 Plus Fitness Podcast, we meet Dr. Lauren DeVille and discuss her book, The Holistic Gut Prescription. Until then, have a happy and healthy week.